Hello, guys. My name is Kishore Ganesh, and in episode 10 of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, in honor of Earth Day 2021, I want to talk about the brilliant documentary on Netflix by Sir David Attenborough called A Life on Our Planet. The first thing that happened to me as I watched this documentary was that I felt an enormous amount of sadness and hopelessness descend on me. Sadness at the atrocities that humans as a species have committed against the planet. Hopelessness at what one person can do against the massive lobbies that exist in the form of industry, economy, governments, kingdoms, dictatorships, billionaires that screw over the environment and the planet in search of more and more unbridled, soulless profits. But stay with me here. I know in the midst of a pandemic you don't want to feel more sadness and hopelessness. But I promise you, at the end of this, you may understand those feelings better and probably even embrace them, if not have altogether different feelings and perspectives. David Attenborough starts off in Chernobyl. For anyone who remembers Chernobyl only in the context and to the extent of the nuclear disaster, it is likely that we would imagine that owing to the devastation that has been heaped on this place, this entire area would be what exactly? That this area would be a barren wasteland? That this area would have freakish mutated rats and cockroaches that are the size of an average human? That life itself would have been wiped off from this entire area, leaving it to resemble some other planet which cannot sustain life? That this area is going to be uninhabitable for thousands of years? Well, the short answers to the previously mentioned questions are no, 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 and yes, but that's only for humans. While our imagination could make us believe that this area will most likely resemble a video game that's set in a dystopian future that's a result of a nuclear holocaust, the reality is far simpler. The only species that's been impacted greatly to the point of no return for thousands of years is humans. Every other form of life is in fact back, and it is flourishing in far greater numbers. The trees are lush and green. Animals, big and small, have recolonized the land that was originally theirs. In fact, because of the radioactivity in the area, the site of arguably the worst nuclear disaster in history has become a safe haven for the natural world. This one sequence in the documentary is enough to inform and educate everyone about the urgent need for conservation and the need to fight against climate change. And from the perspective of this podcast, enough to inform you about the content, message, and ideas that can be gleaned from it. And if that's not enough, at the end of the documentary, Sir David also leaves us with implementable steps that can be adopted by the human race to actually turn back the clock and live and share this planet with the natural world. Because, let's remember this, humans are not alien to the natural world. We are the newest and, dare I say, the best part of it, even if the majority of us don't act in a way that's reflective of the best part. So, with all this new info, the question that I have to ask you is, did your feelings change? I sure hope so. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh. This is the Vocal About Visuals podcast. Please don't forget to watch this wonderful documentary called A Life on Our Planet. And thank you, dear listeners, for your time and for listening. Oh, and one final thing. You must have heard a slight rumble in the background in some portions of this podcast. That's nothing but a massive rainstorm that's raging on outside. Well, in a podcast in honor of Earth Day, I figured let me just have the natural voice of the earth in the recording of this podcast.